Welcome to the audio excerpts of special seminars and conversations with Nolan Narula on gettingpositivekarmanow.com.
I was listening to the first day of the Gita today, the notes, the audio notes from the So you concluded in that thing, I don't know if I can put it in the word, that if the Krishna is there and the Arjun is there, from the first shlok you connected to the last shlok,
Yes,
then the opulence is going to be there.
right.
Right, so being, so Krishna we understand, so being Arjun is being actionful and being righteous.
Being wherever Arjun is there means one who is devoted to Krishna as his follower, devoted follower or devotee. And the idea is that where Krishna and Arjun are, there is opulence, because that is the way it is been experienced. And the Arjun attitude has evolved from the first to the last, from where he was very fearful and anxious and wanting to follow technical religious karam-kand procedures, to the evolution of understanding as to how he needs to view Krishna, how he needs to view himself, how he needs to view others, the universe, and to be a student of Krishna, as a disciple of Krishna, and to be in the disciplic chain. So Krishna is personally not available in that form, but he is available in the disciplic chain, and he is available in the form of the Mahamantra. And he is also available, as he is explained in chapter 13, which we have been studying, as the universal life force energy. That is also part of his form, as is the Brahmanical energies of other types. So these are all Brahmanical energies, and these can help us to liberate us from birth, death, old age and disease, but they don't necessarily give you service to Krishna. So the impersonalistic energies do not engage you in the personal form unless you are aware of what the form is and you are doing things with that idea, and you are also, of course, chanting the Mahamantra, because all the personal attributes of Krishna are available in the sound form of the Mahamantra. All the attributes of the divine are available in his names. Whatever the names have been listed, it is not necessarily only the Mahamantra name, but the Mahamantra is a special sequence of sounds which invokes that the one who is chanting this, please engage me in your personal service. So it is of the highest order, whereas the potencies of the divine are available in every name of his. But this particular sequence is saying that please engage me as your servant, directly serving you. So this is very extraordinary and different. So this is the meaning of wherever there is Arjuna and wherever there is Krishna, there is opulence. So opulence doesn't mean material opulence, it means spiritual opulence. And we are to understand that a spiritualist, even his material opulences are spiritual in nature. The reason is that those spiritual opulences don't have karmic binding consequences. So they are akarmic or akarma. So the way to understand this is that anybody who has spiritual opulences and is working in the way as prescribed in the scriptures, as taught in the Bhagavad Gita, his material opulences also turn into spiritual, because they do not bind that person to future consequences for him to return to the zone of birth, death, old age and disease. Now the moksha aspect is taken care of even by the impersonalistic energies, as I said. But the direct service aspect is not covered. So this is beyond moksha. Dharam, arth, kam and moksha. And then there is seva, to direct seva, to the feet of lotus feet of Krishna, pad sevanam. Archanam, Vandanam, and then Pad Sevanam, that is service to the feet of Krishna. So this is the highest stage. So opulence, the concluding shlok means that that is actually Sanjay's opinion. And his opinion is that wherever Krishna and wherever Arjuna is, there cannot be anything but opulence and victory. So that's the straightforward meaning of it, actually. And if we follow that example, we are also going to benefit from it.
You've been listening to a discussion with Nala Narula on www.gettingpositivekarmanow.com.